11 guys communicating, working together. Get your cleats in the ground and let's play football.
We're legendary. Oh yeah, they heard of me. Right. Cut them up like surgery. The Jesse kid like Odysseus, legendary like Hercules. That means I'm focusing on them, leaving a lasting impression on them. Right. Others have said it first. This is your second warning. I only go hard. That's why them biggest bang. Turn the world in the upside down. I've seen stranger things. Some claim a different view, but if it's true, my best so loud it would take a crowd of 100,000 to bring it down to decibel.
Is intercepted. Love go! Touchdown! Claypool, touchdown. Boykin, Happy New Year! Dalen Hayes slings him out of bounds. Silver first it. Dug out through Tranquil.
Welcome to Inside Notre Dame Football, presented by TireRack.com. Along with former Irish quarterback Evan Sharpley, I'm Darren Pritchett. Notre Dame is now a 4-0 football team. They go on the road for the first time this year, and they dismantle Wake Forest 56-27. New starting quarterback for the Irish against Wake Forest, Brian Kelly decides to go with Ian Book. 25 of 34, 325 yards. Total offense for the team, 566 yards.
Not too bad. I think when Brian Kelly hired Chip Long, this is what he envisioned. This was the offense that he saw run at Memphis. A lot of different ways you can hurt defenses. Now, granted, this Wake Forest team, there were some holes defensively, but Notre Dame's offense did what they were supposed to do today.
And there was also balance offensively, 241 rushing yards.
Yeah, a number of different guys getting touches on the ground and spreading the wealth through the air too. 10 different guys caught passes today. So great job, great game plan, execution was there. So some big tests moving forward, but they did what they were supposed to do today.
So the Irish pick up the victory on the road. Let's take a look at the first half highlights. Number 8, Notre Dame taking on 2-1 Wake Forest at BB&T Stadium in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Ian Book, his second career start, the other last year against North Carolina. Book threw the ball early on in the game to Alizé Mack, 12 yards to the Notre Dame 37. On 3rd down and 12, he's under pressure, rolls right, doesn't force the ball down the field, and just runs out of bounds, and Notre Dame was forced to punt.
This was the first time they didn't score on the opening drive this year, but they were able to put some points on the board later.
A jet sweep to Michael Young. He's hit by Nasir Greer, dislodges the football. The fumble recovered by Ryan Smenda, who takes the football down to the Notre Dame 13. The Irish defense holds, and Nick Skiba converts a 30-yard field goal, 3-0 Wake Forest. The first time this year the Irish have trailed. Notre Dame's 4th drive of the day produced points. It all started with Book finding Alizé Mack for 9 yards, and then Book to Mack for 24 yards. Mack a team-high 6 catches. That sets up Jafar Armstrong. He gets the call, and the former wide receiver eludes tacklers and heads to the end zone. 30-yard score, 7-3 Fighting Irish.
The Irish offense wanted to set the tone early. The offensive line did a great job winning at the point of attack here. A good run fit by Jafar Armstrong. Makes one move, kind of slow rolls the defender, and puts it in the end zone for 6.
Armstrong would finish the day with a career-high 98 yards rushing. So the Irish had their first lead of the afternoon. We now go to the second quarter, as the Fighting Irish defense will now face a Wake Forest offense that plays with a lot of tempo. Earlier this year, they had 105 plays in one game. But the Irish defense holds, and Skiba converts a 39-yard field goal. The Irish lead was cut to 7-6.
This Irish defense, they continue to get off the field when they have to and limit points.
The Irish go back to the running game. It's Armstrong up the middle, 20 yards to the Notre Dame 49-yard line. Here's some balance. They now go to the passing attack. It's Book to Chris Fink, 15 yards to the Demon Deacon 31-yard line. Now in the red zone, Book Back to throw, has time, a good pocket, hits Boykin over the middle, but short of the first down marker. It's 4th down and goal. You've got a new starting quarterback. You got to throw here, right? You sure do, to Brock Wright for the touchdown.
Well, they went play action twice last week to his throwing side. They go to the left here. Love the call, great execution. And Brock Wright, first career touchdown, got to be pretty special.
14-6 Irish, a 10-play, 80-yard drive engineered by Ian Book. Now Wake Forest on offense, Jonathan Bonner in the backfield.
A bend but don't break defense. I'm gonna say it again every week.
Pressure again, Hartman in trouble, and this time it's Drew Tranquil bringing down the Wake Forest quarterback for his first sack of the season.
Hartman's going to be pretty sore following this game. Got hit quite a bit, ended up leaving the game later on, but a bunch of pressures, QB hurries, it was there for this Irish defense.
Now special teams a factor. Chris Fink, a return of 52 yards to the Wake Forest 4-yard line. Fink had a total of 25 punt return yards over the first 3 games, but gets 52 on that opportunity.
Kudos to Brian Poling for designing that and the guys for executing it.
Now it's Tony Jones Jr. He carries a tackler into the end zone for the score. And from 4 yards out, Jones gives the Irish a 21-6 advantage in Winston-Salem.
More balance once again. Tony Jones, Avery Davis, Jafar Armstrong, Ian Book, a number of different guys getting touches. This offensive line taking steps in the right direction.
On 3rd down and 6, Hartman lobs it down the left sideline, but a very questionable roughing the passer call on Jonathan Bonner. So new life for the Wake Forest offense. Hartman into the end zone. This time a penalty called on Nick Coleman for pass interference.
Possible ticky-tacky call here. I get it. It gives Wake Forest another opportunity they're able to cash in.
And it is Colburn scoring for the Demon Deacons. And that touchdown pulls Wake Forest to within 21-13. That was a 10-play, 75-yard drive for Wake Forest. Now the Irish offense will use the bubble screen, and it's Michael Young making the catch, and he's off to the races. He will go 66 yards to the Wake Forest 2.
Timing and placement really important here by Ian Book. Gets the ball out on time, gets it to his front shoulder. Awesome blocking by the wide receivers there as well.
Ian Book running right, finds pay dirt. His first career rushing touchdown, Notre Dame 28, Wake Forest 13. That would be the halftime score. And let's take a look at the first half stats. Nearly 300 yards of total offense over the first 2 quarters for Notre Dame.
Fantastic balance. Like I said, I mean, this is I think what Brian Kelly's envisioning this offense, what their ability to do, run it and pass it. Good play call, and execution was there.
The Fighting Irish advantage was 15 points at halftime. We'll take a look at the second half highlights coming up next on Inside Notre Dame Football.
Inside Notre Dame Football is presented by TireRack.com and brought to you by Team Notre Dame partners Coca-Cola, Under Armour, and Gatorade. Inside Notre Dame Football is also brought to you by Vivid Seats, Canon, Xfinity, Nissan, Notre Dame Federal Credit Union, and SiriusXM.
And welcome back to Inside Notre Dame Football. The Fighting Irish led 28-13 at halftime against the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. Good first half, but Brian Kelly's been stressing we need to be a 60-minute football team. Let's check out the second half highlights from BB&T Stadium in Winston-Salem. Well, the first play of Notre Dame's drive to get the third quarter underway. How about Avery Davis getting an opportunity? He runs right, 12 yards to the Notre Dame 26-yard line.
Yeah, we've mentioned the number of guys getting touches. Young player here getting some valuable experience.
Now it's Tony Jones Jr. in the passing game. 30-yard reception to the Demon Deacon 8-yard line. Book back to throw over the middle. Chase Claypool, the Canadian wide receiver, a 7-yard touchdown reception, and Notre Dame's lead was 35-13.
Once again, rhythm and timing here from Book. Was really impressed with his ability to get the ball out quickly all day, get it into his receiver's hands, and then these guys are able to make plays with the football. Awesome effort here by Chase Claypool putting it in the end zone.
Irish back on offense leading 35-13, big hole up the middle, and Armstrong picks up 28 more yards to the Wake Forest 14-yard line.
He ran really hard all day. The offensive line did a great job of opening up some lanes, but he hit the hole really hard.
Ian Book, nothing in the passing game, so he runs and picks up the first down with an 11-yard scamper.
You might want to slide there.
It is Armstrong on the carry, 1-yard rushing touchdown. The Notre Dame lead had grown to 41-13. And a look at the Irish women's soccer team at the football game. They'll take on Wake Forest tomorrow.
Winning at the point of attack once again, another effort play, stressing physicality at the line of scrimmage. Notre Dame's able to win here and then put it in for 6 more points.
So it's a 28-point lead for the Fighting Irish. Now it's Troy Pride Jr. coming up with the interception of Newman, and for the second consecutive game, the talented corner comes up with a pick.
Defense continues to do this, getting off the field when they need to, and then also creating some turnovers. Continue to be impressed by this secondary. I think they're trending up as well. It doesn't hurt to have pretty good front seven as well.
Good starting field position for the offense, and Book lobs it down the right sideline for Claypool, a 35-yard reception to the Demon Deacon. 12-yard line, so the Irish back in the red zone, and Ian Book will take it in from 2 yards out. 49-13 Notre Dame. The Irish 7 for 7 in the red zone today, all 7 touchdowns.
Pretty impressive. Ian Book does a nice job here on the zone read. A shout out to Pat Connaughton. I think we're starting to see Ian Book characterized maybe with a little bit of sneaky athleticism, finding the end zone 3 different times.
So the Irish are cruising in Winston-Salem, but they are not taking their foot off the pedal. How about Book to the freshman Kevin Austin? Good footwork near the sideline, makes the catch for 29 yards to the Wake Forest 24. Then Chris Fink back into the passing game. He makes the reception for 12 yards. How about the timing of that throw?
Yeah, once again, he puts it right where he has to. Another high-effort play here, breaking a tackle, but it was all about positioning where that ball was.
And it's all about Ian Book. Another rushing touchdown for the California native, his 3rd of the day. It was 56-13 at that time. Final score, 56-27. As Notre Dame improves to 4-0 on the season, a very successful first road game for Brian Kelly's squad. And at the end of the day, 566 yards of total offense.
We are here just above BB&T Field after Notre Dame's big victory over Wake Forest. It is unusual to change quarterbacks when you're 3-0, but you saw something missing in that offense. Ian Book, 325 passing yards, 2 touchdown passes, 3 rushing touchdowns. You knew he would play well. You expected him to play well. Did you expect him to play that well?
Well, again, I think, when you make these kinds of decisions, you hope that you have the right information, and we did. Ian's been with us 2 years now, and we felt like he could bring up the other players around him, and we saw that today, didn't we? With Jafar Armstrong and Tony Jones, the way they ran the ball. Certainly Chase Claypool with a big double move catch down the sideline, Miles Boykin, and of course Alize Jones. So this was really about distributing the football to all of the playmakers that we have, and we felt like Ian could do that for us.
And not just distribution. Let's quickly go over those first 4 touchdown drives. The first one, 3 quick passes to Alize Mack, and then the Armstrong 30-yard run.
Yeah, really big for us. Alize bailed us out, if you will, in the first drive, making some big key conversions on 3rd down, and then we softened them up, if you will, and Jafar, what a great run, physical run, and gets us off because, we had a 3 and out, and it kind of could have been that, okay, here we go. We made a change at quarterback, and we're not moving the football, but we were very confident we were going to move the football with him, and it was a nice drive.
And then that second drive, I thought you Wake Forested Wake Forest. Everybody talked about their up-tempo offense and how many plays they run, and you basically outquicked them down the field for a touchdown.
We did. We were moving quickly. I think Chip Long did a great job of mixing things up and keeping them off balance. They weren't sure whether we were going to run it, throw it quick down the field, had all the weapons available to them, and in my opinion, this could have been the most diversified offensive attack we've had probably in the last couple of years.
Now, you have a comfortable lead at halftime, but the game's not over, and that's something you haven't done well this year. Put them away. You come out, you get the big Okora sack to stop their first possession, and you go right down and score again and basically put the game away.
Yeah, Jack, I think you're absolutely right. That's what we talked about relative to sense of urgency. And I said, listen, let's stop Dortch here on the kickoff return because it starts with him, which we did. Great coverage. We get a 3 and out, get the football, and have a great drive to go up 35-13. And I think that was the first time this year where our guys finally got a sense of, listen, we're a good football team here. Let's start putting opponents away.
You think most complete performance this year, both on the field and in terms of coming together in the locker room?
Yeah, I really liked everything about it. First game on the road, you're always worried about that and playing. And we kind of talked about that, your first road game. But, all things considered, special teams included, if you add that, with our offense and defense on the road for the first time against an ACC opponent that can put some points on the board. I think there's something to build on here. There's no question that I think our kids feel confident that they can be successful offensively. Our defense now knows that the offense can move the football. I think that adds a bit of a confidence builder to this entire football team. Not that they didn't have much confidence, they did. They had a nice win to open the season against Michigan. They're 4-0 coming back home against Stanford. They want that Legends trophy back, and this is going to be a nice game for everybody.
Ian Book, certainly a great candidate to get the game ball, but you gave it to Sam Mustipher.
Well, the center had to deal with a new quarterback this week. He dealt with more than that. He dealt with the locker room, and sometimes, leaders are asked to step up, and Sam was very vocal this week about playing with a sense of urgency, and really liked his leadership this week and pushing our guys to play with that sense of urgency, and because of that, he was deserving of the game ball.
And welcome back to Inside Notre Dame Football. Evan, we're going to take a look at one of Notre Dame's offensive plays in the first half against Wake Forest. The Irish had the football at the Wake Forest 30-yard line.
The big focus this week has been taking steps forward on the offensive line. Anytime you're replacing 2 top 10 draft picks, you want to take steps forward. If you look at this run box right here, it's good numbers for Notre Dame. You've got a weak side with great leverage, a 3-on-3, Liam Eichenberg, the left tackle, Alex Bars, the left guard. You hear Brian Kelly talk about run fits all the time, and it helps when you have 2 guys open up a hole like this. Jafar Armstrong is able to fit really nicely. We can give a compliment here to Sam Mustipher as well, sealing the inside. Once Jafar then works to the second level, he's going to have an ISO with a safety. He's got some options here. He can work to the inside. He can put his foot in the ground and work towards the sideline, which is what he decides to do. And then he's got another one-on-one with a Wake Forest defender where he's able to kind of slow roll the defender, creating enough space, and you find the end zone for a touchdown.
Jafar Armstrong, a 30-yard touchdown run. Good day for the Irish running backs and a pretty good day running the football for quarterback Ian Book.
Yeah, he adds a level of diversity to take some pressure off of the other running backs, Avery Davis, Tony Jones Jr., Jafar Armstrong. His strengths are the zone read. He's a very smart runner, but they threw in a couple of designed runs for him as well.
More Inside Notre Dame Football is coming up next. Let's take a look at the Vivid Seats Play of the Week.
Ian Book under center. Book with the play action, rolls to his left, flips to the end zone. Touchdown Notre Dame. Brock Wright.
It's time for our question of the week, presented by TireRack.com. Today's question comes from Vicky from West Hills, California. Coach, how do you plan to use the new indoor practice facility?
First of all, great for our schedule. Right now, we have to get up really early because there are so many sports teams that have to use Loftus because, we only have the one facility. Now with the new indoor, we'll be able to parcel out our training so we can get up a little later in the morning, get these kids some sleep so we don't get tired and run down later in the season. So it'll be great for us to have a full facility where we can do all of our special teams, all of our work in it. It'll be a great facility.
Really good team coming into Notre Dame Stadium next Saturday, the Stanford Cardinal. Wake Forest pass efficiency defense, number 115 in the country. You step up the Cardinal, number 9 in that category.
And Stanford always plays Notre Dame tough, especially in Notre Dame Stadium too. So I'm excited. I really like that rivalry. Playing for the Legends Trophy. It's half Irish Crystal, half California Redwood. So it'll be a special game. I don't know who we're going to get, but both guys are going to certainly be ready to play. For me, though, it's this defense. This defense is going to continue to keep Notre Dame in football games. But if Notre Dame's offense is able to play like they did against Wake Forest, I think the sky's the limit as far as how the schedule continues to play out.
5 total touchdowns for Ian Book today. And the 8th-ranked Fighting Irish went on the road over Wake Forest 56-27. Notre Dame is now 4-0. For Evan Sharpley, I'm Darren Pritchett. Thank you for joining us on Inside Notre Dame Football, presented by TireRack.com.
Inside Notre Dame Football is presented by TireRack.com and brought to you by Team Notre Dame partners, Coca-Cola, Under Armour, and Gatorade. Inside Notre Dame Football is also brought to you by Vivid Seats, Canon, Xfinity, Nissan, Notre Dame Federal Credit Union, and SiriusXM.